Of all the personality types, INFJ counselors are believed to possess the most complexity. Indeed, these sensitive people's minds contain seemingly contradictory traits. They can understand nearly everyone, but few truly understand them. They can recognize the good in almost everything and everyone, yet little really wows them. People fascinate them, yet they love privacy. They understand themselves well, yet their dynamic personality may sometimes surprise even them. Helping others out impassions them, yet they may at times neglect their own welfare. They speak very little, yet their inner lives burst with rich emotion, passion, and ideas. They speak gently and diplomatically, yet will fight untiringly for causes bigger than themselves. These lofty dreamers also take down-to-earth steps to accomplish dreams. Though ambitious, they often focus their ambition towards selfless causes. Despite such a paradoxical set of qualities, counselors somehow mesh them into a consistent whole, a mysterious identity centered around strong and often humanistic values. With their moral code in the driver's seat, contributing to others' well-being often resides at the heart of this moral code. INFJs prefer to prevent problems instead of treating them after they've happened. While they will hasten to rescue another from troubles, they ultimately wish to guide their loved ones away from harm before it arises. These creative individuals possess such intricacy within their own temperaments that they can easily handle intensely troubled persons and complex ethical matters. With a hunger to inspire harmony among mankind, counselors may create and join movements to right the wrongs of the world. However, they do well to temper their passions with self-care, as overzealous toil may drive them to exhaustion and illness if they are not careful. Although eager to benefit humanity, these private INFJs can be elusive and hard to open up. Friendly but delicate, people can hurt them rather easily. Once having earned their trust, though, they openly express their feelings, abstract ideas, and quirky mannerisms using heartfelt, personal language. Their social circle is small but often very deep, composed of those with whom they share emotionally intimate and often long-standing relationships. They drink in the pain, pleasure, feelings, and fears of those around them, despite their own pains and concerns. And just as praise inspires them, they arouse the best in others through praise. Strong empathic abilities unlock rare phenomena most experienced by INFJ personalities, extrasensory perception, or ESP. While this may sound outlandish, psychologists suspect ESP may simply be the result of strong intuitive abilities. Whether via visions, intuitive feelings, or dreams, counselors may somehow sense a future happening involving a person, event, or object. While around others, they may sense another's intentions before the other people even become aware of them themselves, or they may detect others' suppressed anxiety or illness. Rarely do INFJs themselves even know how they came to possess intuition for people and events. With their vibrant imaginations, INFJs often seem the most poetic and mystical of all the personality types. These masters of the metaphor paint conversations dripping with lush imagery and bright with personal warmth. Counselors bloom in solitary careers that call forth their personal warmth, introverted intuition, and interpretive powers. Positions in psychology, like personal therapist, counselor, psychologist, psychiatrist, and researcher, provide fertile ground for these talents. Though one-on-one counseling may at times unleash a wave of the counselor's own repressed emotions and thoughts. Creative writing also befits their skills, especially writing with a certain person or group in mind. Personal connection to the intended audience rouses their most superb work. Still, INFJs can work beautifully in harmonious groups if communication is authentic, caring, mature, and focused on resourceful problem-solving. Listening and cooperating, understanding and pleasing others. Here is a counselor's ideal climate. As spouses, they live for marital harmony and profound emotional intimacy. They concern themselves not only with the family's physical comfort and well-being, but also the emotional welfare of each member. Their spouses can expect affection, but on the INFJ's terms. When they do choose to show affection, expect a subtle, romantic, whimsical type of expression. On the flip side, relational conflict can shatter a counselor's confidence, happiness, and motivation. An ongoing hostile or judgmental environment will eventually manifest in them physical illness as intense emotional pain spills over from the mind into the body. INFJs devote themselves wholeheartedly to their children, and moms especially identify strongly with them. They befriend children, yet chasten them firmly when needed. These mothers may form a type of mental symbiosis with their children, sometimes to an unhealthy extent for both parties. INFJ parents do well to both literally and figuratively step away from the kids at times to collect and reaffirm emotional boundaries and their own sense of self. As kids themselves, counselors make high achievers who modestly but generously flare their creativity. They enjoy problem solving, relish academic work, and embrace tasks with determination. Indeed, perfectionism may begin to creep in, a trait INFJs would benefit to keep in check. Engage them in abstract conversation. Small talk about literal details like names, dates, objects, step-by-step instructions, and so forth for them, though they will likely be polite about it. But talk about abstract ideas like feelings, symbols, principles, theories, or the meaning of life, and they will suddenly spring to life. Respect their values. Their moral code is the heart of their lives. They will often honor your values as well, even ones they may not share, and they expect you to have the same respect for their own values. Offer empathy, not advice. When expressing a problem, INFJs often just need a gentle touch, listening ear, and a display of understanding. In many cases, they may already have their own solution brewing, but just need to ease the emotional weight. Skip on the advice unless they request it. Let them ponder before replying. As introverts, answers come after reflective searches through a vast mental terrain. Time and often privacy are essential for this process, specifically the more involved, critical, and complicated the matter is. Remember to give them privacy and boundaries. INFJs are sometimes nicknamed the extroverted introvert because of their great ability and desire to socialize. But even so, they are still introverts who need seclusion to recharge in order to keep being present for their loved ones. Give them personal and meaningful work. Counselors long to make an impact, so they thrive on tasks that can change the world, especially on a human level. Let them innovate. Counselors explore new options and innovations, so give them room to make decisions, create new opportunities, and tweak old systems. When criticizing or advising them, be gentle and praise them for what they have done correctly as well. INFJs are highly sensitive and they often take criticism personally. If a critique seems like an attack, they may flee or fight back in highly irrational, unhelpful ways. Motivate them using approval. No one is perfect, and INFJ's keen self-awareness keeps them very in tune with their shortcomings. Repeatedly pointing out flaws and mistakes is not only unnecessary, it's discouraging, insulting, and likely to damage the relationship over time. Instead, praise them for their strengths and achievements. Their hearts will soar and raise them high enough to fly over obstacles and overthrow the very shortcomings you once criticized. this video helps you better understand us INFJs and that it inspires you to live nothing less than a compassionate life.